I think in the interest of time, we can start. Once again, welcome to AIB Access Africa. I'm Peter Chege. Today we are going through NSC shares trading. This is day 6. We have done previous trainings, which I've already shared the links. So today we'll see how to build wealth, leave a legacy to your beneficiaries, and invest with purpose. We don't want you to invest at NSC without having a goal. Otherwise, you might be just putting your money at NSC and eventually either lose or fail to make gains. So let me just see on the chart. Okay, I think we can start. Just confirm maybe with an hi. For those who have raised their hand, you can just drop it. And if you have any question, just put on the chat. So I think we can start. So today we will see the types of accounts you can open in CDSC for your investment. There are several accounts. One of them is joint account and there is individual account. That is the CDS account. So let's first know what is an investment account. This is an account that you use to hold your shares at NSC. So the way it works, you go to a broker, you fill in account opening form. In our case, there is no manual forms you need to fill in for individual account. You do through our digital platform, that is our online portal, and open new trading account. Once you submit the application, we'll open an internal broker account. The internal broker account holds your cash. When you deposit, that's where your money goes. Then we'll open another account with CDSC, because CDSC are the custodians of all shares, Central Depository and Settlement Corporation. So one account with broker where you post your cash, because ideally you deposit in a broker's account, either bank or M-Pesa. So we need to mirror that on our side by creating a broker internal account. Then we link now your broker internal account with CDSC account, because CDSC account is the one that holds your shares. So the way now the whole market works is that now the broker have your account, CDSC have a CDSC account. So broker have internal account, they hold your cash. CDSC, they hold your CDSC account. So for you to trade, you need a system. That system is provided before by NSC, Nairobi Securities Exchange. So the broker will connect to NSC, buy or sell shares. If they buy, then CDSC will move shares from the person who already have the shares into your CDSC account. Then the broker will debit your money and pay CDSC directly. We don't pay through NSC, we pay directly to CDSC. So that CDSC can pay the person who has sold you the shares. So broker will pay CDSC. CDSC will pay the person who have sold shares to you. Then the shares are moved into your CDSC account. So trading only happens at NSC. You can't trade directly as a client. That's why you need the broker. You can't go directly to CDSC. Or CDSC, they only hold your shares. So that's the role of the broker. Opening CDS account and making sure your shares are held in a safe custody by CDSC. Then you have NSC who provides now the trading system that allows movement of shares from the person who have the shares to the person who is buying. Then broker through their bank, they will settle with CDSC directly. Now to protect all these investments, we have CME. CME are the ones who regulate the market. Now, brokers themselves, they have their own organization called CASIB. It takes care of the brokers. Then the listed companies which are trading at NSE, they have registrars who organize AGMs and payment of dividends. Remember, dividends, when they're declared by the company, they're paid by registrars directly to you, not through the broker. So those are the parties that are within the market. We don't have any other extra parties outside. Within the broker, we have brokers, stock brokers, we have investment bank, we have custodians, and we have fund managers. So now this account you have opened, it can be an individual account. That is where you are opening as a single person. If it is Peter is opening his own account, where I'll be trading directly and I have full mandate to operate that account. For joint account is where you're opening two people. It's not two or more, it is two people. If it is more than two, then it's a separate arrangement. We'll come to that. It's either a group or Chama, and all this needs to be registered or a company. So joint is two people. These two people can be either spouse, two family members, maybe brother, sister, or parent with brother or sister. It could also be you and your kid. If they are over 18, if they are 18, then if you come to that, it is called minor account. So joint is for two people, and they must have both of them either they have IDs or passport or ID and passport. So that's the difference between individual and joint. Individual is where you're opening as a single person. Joint is where you're opening as two people. So there is a question, at what point is the share registry updated after sale or purchase? It is automatic. When you submit the order, if you have ever used our digital platform and you get fully traded or partially traded, that trade have already executed at NSE. And at CDSE, immediately the shares moves from the person who have sold to the person who have bought, but they are not balance free. Remember, there is a settlement rule, T+3. That's why you can't sell the shares you have bought within T+3. That is the trade date. You had 3 working days. You can only sell after 4th day. Cash movement on your internal broker account, it is debited on execution. Then it is submitted to CDSC. Actually, they are the ones who automatically debit our account on T+3 around 5 p.m. So that's when money moves to CDSC and your shares are balance free. So I hope that is clear. If you place an order at NSC and it has not executed, we don't debit anything. I mean, sorry for that. So as I was explaining, the share registry is updated on execution, but shares are not balance free until payment. And it's only on execution because that's the time we debit your account. We don't debit if order have not executed. So how long does it take to clear the trade by CDSE? So on execution, shares move, but they are not balance free. On T+3, 5 p.m., that's when the actual settlement happens. That is, they release your shares, they are balance free. So you can sell on the 4th day, from 4th day onwards. Then the person who have sold, now that time, the broker receives the actual cash. That's why most brokers pay the following day. Apart from AIB, we have a repayment where we can pay you on execution, but we charge you a small fee. Bona Junior account doesn't accept foreign birth certificates for kids born outside Kenya. Actually, it's the system from CDSC, the way they have the field for identification number, it doesn't pick anything that is not a Kenyan passport. I don't know why they have put that. But we are trying to reach out to them to see how we can resolve that. For them, they assume all Kenyans have a Kenyan valid ID. It is the CDS system. It is different from the government systems. So I hope that is clear. But we are trying to find out from CDSE why that is not possible. Because even Tanzanians and Ugandans, they have East Africa passports, and their ID number usually have a similar number with the passport from outside the country. But I think it is the numbers that are there because most of them, they usually have a letter, I think date and year is the number. Possibly that could be the reason, but you check with the CDSE. So let's continue. So individual accounts, what are the advantages? One of them, you have full control of the account. As the account holder, you have the mandate to issue instructions, that is buy and sell transactions, getting statement, payments, and any query you need. Remember, you are an individual. You only need to prove account ownership. But now with the digital platform, you're able to access from anywhere in the world, as long as you have access to internet. So you have full control. You decide when to buy and sell. Then easy tracking. It's one owner, one record. You don't need to put multiple records. And there's fast transactions. No need to look for the other person to sign. It's actually you who is initiating all the transactions. Disadvantages: if you pass away without now passing over wealth to your beneficiary, then shares will remain in CDSE until legal process is done. So your beneficiaries need to go to court and get the letter of administration. But that will not worry you because now it's beneficiaries to handle that. But as long as you have added them on our side, we are trying to make this industry more friendly, where you add beneficiaries to your CDSE system. So when they come with the documents from the court, we don't have a problem transferring shares. Because you know now with fraud, it's not easy to tell who is claiming to be beneficiary. But on our side, we are trying as much as we can to make sure your shares going forward, even in CDSE, the beneficiaries are dead. And the final disadvantage, but not the last, no one else can act on your behalf. We don't allow that party to come and issue instructions. It's only you who can issue instructions. So a real example of an individual account is where me, Peter, now opens account in my name. I will decide alone when to buy shares like Safaricom. I'm the one to instruct the system. I need this. If I'm going through maybe phone call or email orders, I'll just instruct AIB, buy for me shares in my account. And I send email together with my ID because we need proof of identity. Now for joint accounts, we have spouse accounts, where husband and wife, you open an account, then you buy shares in your two names. So Peter and Mary. So account will read Peter Chege, Mary and Mary Wambui, or whoever, Jane, just two people, the husband and wife. So the account has two names, the husband and the wife. It could also be family members, two family members. So the advantage of this is both of you contribute to build a family wealth. So you already have your individual accounts, which you have opened here. Then you come and open joint accounts, now both of you. So individually, you are buying your shares. Then as husband and wife, you are building your wealth together. So you contribute towards that portfolio. And if one passes away, the other can continue managing accounts. But remember, in bank, you already have a joint account. So it might have issues when you are coming to withdraw. So it might require now, if one party passes away, the other party needs to get still letters of administration to move now shares from this joint account to your individual account. Remember, at that point, you may need either a marriage certificate or an affidavit that shows you both of you are in marriage. The only disadvantages that are there, there could be disagreements on what to buy and what to sell. Remember, it's both of you have to make that decision. Even if you have access to the account, either online or you're submitting orders through email, both of you have to agree on when to buy, when to sell. If there are disagreement, then you are out. And risk if the relationship breaks down. Because then, if you separate, what happens? None of you can issue instructions alone. So it requires that high level of trust between the two parties. But remember, you already have your individual accounts. So you are opening now this joint account to build extra wealth together. Remember, for individual accounts, you can decide to wake up tomorrow and sell shares, even if you don't need that money, maybe to go and have fun. But for joint account, you are making decisions, both of you. So an example, Mary and John opens a joint account and maybe they both invest. Remember, the word here is both invest. They are making this decision, both of them. When dividends come, they are paid to bank account. This account is also a joint account, the bank account that you give us. So that dividend you can decide to reinvest again. Then we have friends and family accounts. Though this is allowed where now you are opening account, a joint account with your friend. That's like Peter and Paul. They are friends. They open a trading account. Or me and my brother, me and my sister, my cousin. It's allowed, but it is risky. It's a bit risky, and you see why. So the advantages is that you put money together and you can be able to buy more shares, but it requires high level of trust. You share risks and rewards. But the disadvantage is it requires strong trust. You need to trust each other. Remember, if you have a disagreement, this is not like where you have a spouse. Because for a spouse, you can go and get divorce documents and come and prove you divorced. Then you go to court, get letter of administration, then you share that wealth. For friends and family, however, there is nothing you can use to prove that. That's why it requires a lot of trust. There could also be fights of profit sharing, because maybe one wants to take more than the other. And also, even the contributions, you may also disagree. And if one wants to sell, the other may not agree. So that's why when you're opening these accounts, you need to be very careful. You open with a person you can trust. So an example, two cousins invest jointly, and you buy maybe BAT shares for dividend income. And you must agree how to share these profits. We highly discourage this, but if you want to open, you can open an account with a friend or an account with a family member, two people for joint accounts. So the mode of operations for joint accounts, it's all to sign. We don't allow either. It must be all to sign. Everyone must approve before any trade. Why? We don't want issues, and the regulations, they say clients need to give those instructions. So if the other party have not signed, it only means it's one party that gave, and we don't know why the other party didn't sign. That's why for all joint accounts, both parties have to approve the transaction. It's one of the safest way to invest, but again, through decisions, because you have to wait for the other party to approve your decision. Now, for joint accounts, you can use Excel to track. It's the easiest way. Remember writing a book, that book can get lost. But Excel, you only need a Google Sheet. You track the name of investor. Remember, even if you're just two of you, you could be having other accounts. Huh? So you can have an Excel spreadsheet that captures the name, both names, then the amount each invests, then the total shares owned. Remember, you're not buying individually here. You're putting each 10,000, 10,000. That is 20,000. So you use 20,000 to buy, say, Safaricom shares, maybe 1,000 shares. So it won't be split to the two people. It will be put under your one account. That's why tracking contribution is very important. So that when you sell, you know how much now to pay back to each party. Even if it is spouse, you might separate in between, but you decide to be co-parent. What do you do when you sell shares? If you had not agreed when opening account how to share that proceeds, then at the point of sales, there will be a problem. So you need to track amount invested, the total number of shares bought using that amount, then dividends received. You have a separate sheet that tracks all the dividends and how you have used that dividend. Then current value of shares. Even if that is available on portfolio valuation, you need to have it on your tracking tool so that when you are making decisions on how maybe to sell or to reinvest dividends, you know where to put that extra income into. So this helps in transparency, because again, now you have a worksheet, spreadsheet that you have shared across where everybody can track what the other party is doing. Then fair profit sharing. So whenever dividends come or when you sell, you already know how to share. Then easy rebalancing when somebody withdraws or adds more money. Remember, tomorrow, Peter can decide, even if we are contributing both of us at the end of the month, I have extra money I can put in. So it needs to be tracked. Then at one point, I may decide I want to withdraw my portion. What do we do? Do we sell everything? We can decide, let's sell a portion. I withdraw my part. You continue running this joint account. I will support you to a point where now you want to withdraw. But it's again risky. Remember, I can go against that arrangement. So you can use a simple spreadsheet where you are tracking the names of the investor. Then you have another sheet which have now the amount invested, because now you'll be tracking even the dates. Let me go to spreadsheet. Maybe I can create a simple one. Then we come to a few Q&As. Let me see questions. When you open a minor account, do you operate it on the same dashboard with the main one, or you need another EIB app? You need to link that up now as a separate account. So you have two usernames. Username for your individual account and a username for junior account. Because ideally that account belongs to the junior. It's only that you as the parent, you're coming in as the one who will manage until they turn to 18. So you have to use usernames. I have never buy shares, but what I did yesterday, I have paid these amounts to open for account because it was opened. $3,000, you're not paying. This is not a payment. The amount that you have put in the 3,000 is to activate your account from pre-active account to eKYC. If you paid, this is yesterday 2 a.m. By now, this account is active. You can be able to place an order. Just log into the platform. You'll actually see your money is intact. You use the same amount to buy shares. So even if it was opened in 2024, by now that account should be ready for trading. Actually, after this, you can try to place the order. It should go through. Just log in. You see that message that tells you need to deposit some money, it's gone, and all icons are now active. And the money is there. Just go to statement, or you click funds, you see the money is still there. If you have a CDSC account, we really also need to top up 3,000 for the first time to start up a minor. Minor is different. 3,000 is for digital accounts. When you open an account digitally, remember you don't know whether it is you opened or it's another person. That's why you need to deposit that minimum 3,000. You can put even more just to deactivate that account and you start trading with the same amount. If it is 3,000 for minor account, since it is us who are opening and you have submitted the documentation, we already know the account holder. So that one does not require the minimum 3,000. You can start with any amount. Any account you open using manual forms, there is no minimum, but remember, annual fee is different. But for minor, it's usually waived to 200. I don't have account now, but waiting for them to send. Sorry, please don't share the screenshots. If it is in pre-active account, just use that pay bill number and the CDSC number that was sent to you. Just deposit. Your account will automatically activate. After you just count from the time you deposited, just give it like 2 hours. It will automatically activate. If you have not been activated, just send me a WhatsApp. Let me give you my number. 0723384775. Just drop me your ID number and just maybe one screenshot. I'll check for you. Also in the Excel sheet, add the broker transaction fee, as it can be quite a lot if you're selling a lot of shares. Yes, when you are doing any calculations, even if you're doing off our system, always include broker commissions. In the spreadsheet that I will be sharing, I'm still reworking them so that they are also, I will work on a separate one. The others are for practice. I will work on the main one, which you can use. I will include commissions, because you need to factor out commissions in levies, so that you don't assume you're making profit. Then when you sell, you realize that the amount is less. Is there a problem with the sound? Can the rest hear me? Just confirm. Am I audible? Just confirm on the chat. Okay, maybe Innocent, you can check on your volume. Can one change an individual account into a joint, for example, to include successor when still alive? No. In CDSC, unfortunately, when you open an account, you can't change the names. If you need to change the names, you usually close that account and open a new one. That is CDS system. So for a joint, you can't change an individual account to a joint. What you can do in your individual account, you can add beneficiaries. You just fill in the form and add beneficiaries. We'll scan and update the system. But that does not mean your beneficiaries, when they come way later down, we can move shares to them. We need letters of administration. So they need to go through the legal process, bring those letters. For us, we only compare what we have against what is brought. Because again, these days you can forge anything. So we need to compare what we have on our system with what has been brought by the beneficiaries. But it's good always appoint successors to make it easier for them, even when sharing your wealth. What percentage does AIB take as a broker fee? We are charging 1.3% as a brokerage. The standard one is usually around 1.6. Because the total fees comes to around 2.1%, including levies. So for us, we have ROAD. For everyone who is using our digital platform, We are not charging you the standard rate. We have lowered down to 1.3 flat. Difference between DOE CSD and CDS. DOE CDSC is the account for boards, fixed income, boards that trade at CBK. CDS account holds shares, companies that trade at NSE, and boards, corporate boards that trade at NSE. So anything trading at NSE is held by CDSC account. For government boards and T-bills, those ones they are held through DOE CSD. The platform is from Central Bank. Can I change my dividend receiver account from M-Pesa to bank? Yes, there is a form you need to fill in. Just send me a WhatsApp message. I'll send you that form. You can also send me email. The email is there on the presentation. You can send me email or you send to info@eibaccessafrica.com. Our team will send you that form to update. The only thing you can't change is your name, ID number, and date of birth and gender. Those ones you need to fill in account opening form for CDSC. We open a new account, close the old one, transfer shares. That's why we advise when opening account, make sure those details you capture correctly. Those ones we can't change. That is by CDSC. It is set. We are forced to close that account, open a new one, transfer shares, then you can continue using that new one. But changing dividend, changing your mobile number, those ones you only need to fill in account amendment form. Then once we amend, we send to CDSC. You give it one or 2 weeks for CDSC to approve, because they need to get in touch with you. If they are not able to confirm from you, they will ask the broker to actually confirm. So that takes roughly 1 week. After that, it's updated to the new dividend mode. What if you have a trustee for beneficiary management? There are 2 ways. If you have a trustee, again, beneficiaries need to go to the court, get letters of administration appointing that trustee to hold the shares on behalf of beneficiaries. So what EIB will do, will open account on behalf of those trustees. Then we transfer shares from the deceased to the trustee. And the trustee now will continue. If they want to buy, they can buy under that trustee account. Dividends will be paid to the account appointed for that trustee. However, the beneficiaries can also decide, let's sell the shares, but the proceeds be paid directly to the trustee's bank account. We will rely on the court instructions, because beneficiaries are the ones to go and agree before the court. How do you want these shares to be shared? If you decide that let's appoint a few administrators, then they will need to have a bank account in their name. They can open a CDSC account in the same names. We transfer shares from deceased to that account. Then until that point, now you decide to share it out. If you decide it will be shared now equally to the beneficiaries, then beneficiaries will need to come and open individual accounts. Then we transfer from the deceased to the individual beneficiaries based on court instructions. Can I transfer my shares to another CDS account? If it is a different person, you transfer as a gift. Let's say it is you sending to Peter. You can do it as a gift. You only need to write a letter instructing we transfer as gift, and that needs to have authority of an advocate. So your advocate needs to confirm. How can I check my dividend settlement account number? This is not available on the app because we don't know who is logging into the app. If you need those details, you can send us email. Also on our social media, you can chat us. We'll be able to share that with you. Or you send me a WhatsApp message. I'll tell you what mode you used when you're opening the account. But if you can remember when you're opening account, what details you gave, it's the same details. It could be bank. If it's not bank, it is M-Pesa. If it was not M-Pesa, then you selected check. Adding beneficiaries through the app or website, no, this you have to do through the forms, because we need to attach those forms to your account, so that in future when our staff member opening that account, maybe to help a beneficiary, they have that form to confirm that they are talking to the right person. Can I invest boards in my CDS account? Yes, corporate boards, not government boards. Government boards, it's DO CDS. It's a central bank CDSE account for government boards. That is fixed income. IFBs, FXDs, those ones, it is CBK CDS account. But for corporate boards, like family bank boards, there is, I think, housing finance, all those boards which trade at NSE, then you use your CDSE account. Let's continue with the presentation. Let me first go to Google Sheets. Let me just open that, then I share. We see how you can create a spreadsheet. Google Sheets. So let me share this. I will come to Q&A as we continue. Let me first share, where is it? Google Sheets, then share. So you go to Google Workspace for Sheets, then you click sign in. It will sign me automatically in because I'm already logged in. You can create a new blank sheet. So this is for tracking investment, maybe for joint account, spouse. If it's not spouse, it could be with friend or with family. So this we can call spouse investment. So I've named it. So on the first sheet here, you can call it maybe investors. Even if there are two of you. Remember, this sheet can help your kid know whom you invested with. So I can call this Peter C, and the second investor is maybe my spouse, Mary P. I'm just using dummy names. Then here you can add your ID numbers, so that even when they are going for, let me insert, to get letters of administration, they don't need to also to get those ID numbers. Then you can have ID numbers, maybe even email, and also maybe phone numbers. Because you want to make it easier even for your beneficiaries. That's your kids. I'm assuming these were for spouse. So these are names. So in CDSE, the account will be opened as Peter C. Ed Mary P. Let me maybe zoom in. So you have the names of the investor, Peter C, and you have Mary P. Then you give ID numbers, their email addresses, and mobile numbers. So the account in CDSE will read Peter C and Mary P. That's the name that will appear. So here you can have CDS number. This is the name of account. So even your beneficiaries, when they are sharing your wealth, sorry, let me stop sharing. Let me refresh. Let me share again. It's a simple spreadsheet which you can create on your side. So even when your beneficiaries are sharing your wealth, they don't need to go to CDSE and start asking me for this CDSE number. They already know the account name and CDSE number. You can also have internal broker code, so that when they go to the broker, They just need to give this code and the details are put for that account. So we have our first sheet, which have the investor details. Then we create another sheet. This we can call it contributions. So here we can have a column for date. Then we have contributor, that is the investor. Then we can have amount, then mode, how the contribution was done. So here you can give a date. Let's say it's 12th August. Contributor is Peter. He did 15,000. Then the mode was, it was paid via M-Pesa because I'm depositing directly to the trading account. Then maybe on 15th, that's when Mary gets her money. Mary, she's generous enough. She put 100,000 through bank. Why are we doing this? When you're selling shares, if you're friends, remember Peter contributed 15,000. Is he entitled to get Mary's contribution? No. For a fairness, it's only good if Mary gets back her 100,000, Peter gets 15,000. Then the gains that came in form of profit after sale, they are shared in the same proportion. Then you can have the totals down here. And you can also have another sheet that now tracks total for each. Then you can have maybe shares, a sheet for shares which have been bought, that is portfolio, and another one now for dividends. And you can expand this sheet as much as you can, create so many sheets such that you're able to track every cent that comes in. Now, the next step is to do what after you create, you go to share, then you copy link and set the same link to Mary so that Mary have same details like you. She is able to follow up on whatever you're updating on the sheet. However, you can come to file, you can email this file, or you click share with others. Don't publish to the web. Then you can add their details here, the email, then you grant rights. Once you grant rights, click done. You said to them so that they also have a copy of this sheet. So let's go back to presentation. In the next week's training, I'll come with a complete Excel spreadsheet that now you can use for joint accounts, and also if you're investing with a Fred, we said it could be Fred or family member or spouse, because you need to do those tracking. So I'll create a complete one, but in your time you can try and create one. If you already have a joint account, try and create one and start now tracking your investment. So that way, in future, you not have issues with your investment. Remember, AIB is only giving you a compounded figure. That is, even if Peter picked 100, you can see it in the statement. Peter number, put these. Mary through her number, put these. But portfolio valuation, it won't split. Remember, order you are doing as a combined entity, both of you. So portfolio valuation will not have Peter's execution or Mary's execution. No, it will have a combined shares for all of you. So let me pick a few questions, then we go to the next one. What if I selected M-Pesa for dividend, but one of the company I hold stock still says as a check? How do I update this? This is an issue with registrars, and we are trying also to talk to them. They try to make this industry the best it can be. There are those registrars, yes, they have your bank details, they have your M-Pesa details, but they decide to send as a check. We are still yet to understand why. One reason could be their company policy does not allow them to pay via M-Pesa, maybe because of competition. We have such issues where you find some companies can't pay via M-Pesa. So they decide to send as a check. And maybe you as a client, you never give a postal address. Then when what happens, that check is stuck in postal, in your poster, because most likely you gave a postal code. So they said it there is a private registered letter. If it takes some time before it is cleared, remember they give a return address, so it is returned to them. That dividend is not lost. You can always request to be repaid again. We have a few, I think it's only one company which we have seen that does that. But we are also trying to talk to registrars. They don't inconvenience you as an investor. Remember, the broker is not involved in dividend payment. We only come where we are updating. So if you selected M-Pesa and you are sure that is your correct number, you're supposed to receive your dividend via M-Pesa. If company decides otherwise, you can always sue them to CMA. Anything that happens at NSE, if there is an issue with dividend payment, the broker have tried their best to help you. CDSE have tried their best. If you're still aggrieved, always report that to CMA. CMA will act on any instructions you give to them. So let me share presentation. We go to the next slides. So we come now to junior and minor accounts. This could be new to some of us, but it has been there in the market. Only that brokers don't promote these, which I fail to understand why. Because somebody like me, I ought to have opened when I was a junior. By now, I should be enjoying the investment by my parents. So it's also good it's also good for you as a parent to start investing for your junior, so that when they are over 18, you pass that account to them as a gift and they start now enjoy the fruits. And remember to advise them not to sell the shares. They actually invest more. So a junior account builds legacy very early, because you're introducing your kid as early as they get birth notification. You can open that account. So a CDS account can be opened for a child under 18. This is managed by parents or guardian until the child is an adult. So the way you open it, you get a CDSE form for minor. It has the part where you capture minor details and your details. So you as the parent, you are the authorized person to manage that account. Dividends, you can decide to give a Jabo Junior account for that kid, or you give your own bank account. But remember, when you receive dividend, it's for your junior, return it back to the account and reinvest. I always advise, if possible, open a Jabo Junior account with the bank and give it as the bank account. Why? When dividend is paid to that bank account, those accounts, they earn interest. You don't need to withdraw that money. You just leave it to earn interest for some time. Then you can withdraw, put it back now to the CDS account, buy the shares that are offering dividend, you get another dividend, give it some time to earn interest. And with that, your kid is earning two ways: dividends, capital gains at NSE, and then interest on Jabo Junior account. But it is you as a parent to decide. So this helps children start learning about money, business, and investment very early in their age. So by the time they are adult, they already know how to invest. So there's more pocket money they get out there. They find it, it will find its way back to this minor account, and you help them build their retirement very early. Remember, you do not want your kid to suffer in their retirement. You'd want them to have a smooth life, maybe like the life you have had. So the best way is start early, build that portfolio for them. When they turn 18, by that time, you have trained them how to invest. They start investment. So how do you open your junior account? First of all, we require birth certificate, then your ID or passport as a parent or guardian. Then you fill in CDSE1 form. I will show you once I'm done with this part. Then we will guide you on the process. Like for the client who have raised that issue on certificate number, we are still following up with CDSE, but we'll get back in touch with you and help you even further. We want that kid to invest. So the investment ideas for your kid, one of them is using dividend stocks, because it gives you regular cash income. Remember, for NSE, for you to realize capital gains, you have to do the actual sale. You have to sell shares, then we pay you. For dividend, you are not selling. It's the company paying you part of the profit they have made directed to you. Then there is ETFs, exchange traded funds. You can use that because ETFs is a group of shares together sold as one unit. Unfortunately, in NSE, we never used to have them, but there is a new one that was listed. Hopefully, they can make it cheaper. Then there is government bonds and T-bills, steady and safe. I hope you can be able to open this account on DO system. If it's not there, you can contact CBK and open one. T-bills are treasury bills. Then we have savings funds, saving fund in a bank account. That's a Jabo Junior account. And you can use one of these savings account to collect dividends. You will not be depositing on Jabo Junior. You will be depositing on trading account, buy dividend stocks. Then these dividends, they are paid regularly to that account. Remember in the previous tutorials, and I'll be repeating this maybe next week, when I'm now going through dividend reinvestment sheet that we created, you can schedule a dividend so that first quarter of the year you are getting dividend. Second and third quarter you're also getting dividend, and there's those companies that pay at the fourth quarter. So at least you have regular income that is coming to that Jabo Junior account. Remember that Jabo Junior account is also earning interest. So one way you can support your kid is by gifting them shares. Maybe they have performed well. They don't know they have a junior account. Just give them shares as a gift. And one way is transferring shares from your account to their account. When you open account, you have bought some shares. They already know you are buying shares. Surprise them one day, maybe during birthday. Filling that form for gift, where you can gift somebody else shares. Transfer part of your portfolio to them. Remember, at the end of it, they are your beneficiary. They will still get that portfolio either way when you pass. If you have not sold, so you can gift them maybe a small portion, just to even motivate them to even buy more. So you can either buy shares as gifts, that is, you buy shares within a minor account. Then during their birthday, present them with a CDSE account statement, telling them this is your shares. Or when you're gifting them a mobile phone, you log into the DigiTrader and you show them their portfolio. This is how much I've bought for you. When you're giving them that phone as a gift, you're also giving them shares as a gift. Or you transfer now from the account. Maybe when they are trading, you just decide, let me gift them. Just you surprise them. So instead of buying toys, buy shares for birthday, graduations, or a milestone. It helps your kid now start developing that mentality of savings and investment. Remember, even if college, high school, primary school, even junior academies, train them on investment, the best education you can give is from the parents to your kid. Me, if you had to ask me what I remember most is what my mom taught me, not what my teachers taught me. I actually remember exactly what my mom taught me, because she used to teach me in a language that I understood. If it is a Kikuyu, that's what she used to use. So as a parent, start teaching them in the language that they understand. Remember in college, they use those terminologies. But as AIB, we are starting, as we train you as the parents and guardians, we also want to start training kids. Once they start opening junior accounts, we'll start now inviting them for training. So you help your kid grow with the company. Let's say right now you buy just 200 shares of Safaricom as a gift to your kid. That kid, let's say, is 1 year. In 18 years, Safaricom will not be where it is. You have grown. Maybe even price grown. So by the time you are passing over that wealth to a kid, Safaricom shares and the portfolio valuation have already grown. No? So you are helping your child grow with the company. And you also try to use analogies that a child can relate to. If you're buying Safaricom shares, we all know M-Pesa, even kids know M-Pesa. Just tell them, Safaricom shares you are buying, you're also buying M-Pesa. You're becoming a shareholder of M-Pesa. So that kid will relate Safaricom with M-Pesa. They know these shares I've bought shares in M-Pesa. But ideally, they are owning shares in Safaricom. After some time, they realize, oh, M-Pesa is owned by Safaricom, so I'm a shareholder of Safaricom. After some time, that kid will even start understanding what shares are. But don't use other examples that are way outside even government regulations. In this case, like you are buying BAT, how will you explain to the kid? You are buying ABR. If you're using those, maybe you can use analogies, maybe you can use examples related to maybe Christmas. You tell them the way you see people enjoying there, we have bought that company, but don't insist on what that company does because you don't want also to destroy your kids' morals. Huh? So use companies that kids can relate with. Huh? Even if BAT, ABL, they are giving dividend, yes, buy, but when teaching the kid, try to understand how you can train them without showing them what those companies do. So a good demo, you can grow 10K per year as an investment to your kid. The reason why I used annually, you can decide I'll be putting 1,000 every month. Remember on our side, apart from when you open an account, we have a limit of 3,000. After that, it is you to decide how much you want to put. You can put even 100, 50. It all depends on which share you want to buy. It's the one that dictates the amount that you can put in. So you can decide every month I'll be putting 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. So by the end of the year, you have 12,000. Huh? That 1,000 can buy a small portion of Safaricom. Next month, you buy another share. So you are growing that portfolio slowly with that small amount. In 1 year, you have approximately 12,000. Huh? So by the time your kid is turning 18, you have grown your portfolio. Let's go to Excel. We see how much you can grow that portfolio with. Huh? So let me share my spreadsheet. I will use the same spreadsheet that I was using here. We see how much you can grow a portfolio. You have 10,000, 1,000. You're depositing for 12 months. Let me zoom in. So the portfolio you have by the end of the year will be 1,000 times 12, around 12,000. That's what I've deposited. Huh? Factor out commissions for argument's sake. Huh? So you multiply this by, our commission is 1.36%. Huh? So let's use 1.64 because that's the figure including commissions, including levies. Then you divide by 100. So you pay roughly that amount. So basically the portfolio that you have is equal to around 11,000. For argument's sake, remember these shares, they are growing in price. So your portfolio is not stagnating at 11,000. It could go up. But for these demonstration purposes, let's assume you even retain the same portfolio without any changes. In 18 years, how much would you have invested for this kid? It's around 212,000. Let's give ourselves, you have a growth of just 10% annually. So a minute, let me delete this formula. So let's say this portfolio grows with 10%, just 10%. So it's that times 10. Actually, it's 110 because I'm using percentage divided by 100 because we are growing by 10%. You already have 230,000. That's by price movement. We are saying prices have increased with 10%. Remember, there are also dividends which are coming in. At the end of it, you might find, let me stop sharing this. We go to our presentation. You will find you have created a portfolio for your kid that can outgrow even more than 300,000 by the time they are turning 18 years. This is the time this kid is going to college. Isn't this enough amount they can use for their pocket money? And they pay maybe a certificate course just to secure themselves a job where they can come now. Once they're employed, they reimburse that money back. What does that mean? At 18 years, you can sell a portion of these which can help you pay for college fees. Then when the kid now starts employment, they can come and reimburse back. So this amount can be for education, business, or you buy a first car for your kid. Who would not want a kid to drive at 18? And we have seen you are just using 1,000 a month. Remember, there are dividends which are coming in. Those ones you can let them sit on Jabo Junior. They earn interest. So here you are gifting your kid shares at the same time, cash in the bank. So ideally, they don't even need to sell the shares. Maybe even Jabo Junior account have enough funds to cater for their expenses. And remember, dividends continue to accumulate. They are still receiving these dividends. So then which tools can you use to help your kid run investment? One of them is Google Sheets or Excel for tracking, so that you can show your kid how dividends have been paid, shares how they have grown, how you have invested, how you have even deposited, so that you motivate that kid when they get 1,000. Remember, at 18, you might not be the one supporting them. Maybe they already have a job. If they are lucky enough at 18, they can use that 1,000 to deposit back in their account and buy shares. Maybe you would argue, where will an 18-year kid get job? These days, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, they are paying. And unless you know your kid very well, I know most of them, they are in TikTok. And they already know it pays. So by that time, they are earning. They put part of that money back for investment. Then you pass over these spreadsheets to them. They continue now tracking their growth. Then there is our app and portal just for live prices, so that the kid, when you are buying shares, you're actually buying with them and you can show them how you are executing. Then you're explaining in language and terminologies that they can understand. So that when they open DigiTrader, they already know these prices mean this. They can even help you in making decisions. At times you tell them when it is green, the share is gaining. When it is red, the price is going down. They can even help you to make those decisions, when to buy, when to sell. Then you start money lessons at home. Start explaining dividends. Maybe you can use an analogy, because dividend, if I was to explain to you right now, dividend is like when you own rentals. You get rent from tenants. You have not sold your rentals, but you're getting money from your tenants without selling your rentals. It's the same thing the dividends are. You have bought shares, These shares, they're giving you dividend. This dividend is that like the rent you're being paid by the tenants. So you can start with those analogies, because most of us, I know, we are, if you're not living in your own home, you might be somewhere you have rented. You can start using those examples. And your kid, at some point, you start understanding the investment. Then involve kids in AGMs. As a shareholder of any company, you are entitled to AGMs when they are announced. You only need to carry your ID. You go and prove you are actual shareholder. And you have rights like any other shareholder in that AGM. So come with your kids, let them listen, let them learn. Even if they won't understand everything, they will start getting idea of what investment is. So that's on junior accounts. We come to corporate and chamas. So we have accounts for corporates. These are companies. It could be a business name or a registered company, limited or partnership, whichever company, as long as it has a registration certificate. Then registered chamas or groups or circles. You can open account. So these mostly are for structured growth, and they are used by registered groups, registered circles, registered chamas, and registered companies, where you are putting money together. Let me challenge you. In chamas, which we usually have in our estate, how do they work? We contribute, then one person is given that amount. Next time we contribute, another one is given. If you are not giving to the individual, we give to our treasurer to keep it for us. Where does the treasurer put that money? Maybe you need to check with your treasurer, because I don't want to use an example of my chamas, because you find most of them, they make extra cash out of that. If you are to bring that money, instead of sharing it out, you bring it to NSE, you buy shares. When dividend come, you can decide to share. Remember, you have not touched your contributions. You are sharing dividend. You can decide, for some years, let's reinvest the dividend until these shares are giving us substantial amount we can be sharing equally. At that point, you may find you are not even contributing. It is the dividends which you are now using to pay members, supporting them maybe when they have difficult times, financial crisis. You can support using those dividends. Same as companies. If it is registered, you can open account. So this helps you build wealth faster through teamwork, because there is that discipline when you are many of you and you're contributing. You find yourself forced to contribute. But again, it needs clear rules. One, how do you contribute? Two, how do you make decisions to buy shares? Three, how do you make decisions on how to share this dividend or how to reinvest? Four, AGMs, do we go reverse or it's just one person? So you create rules to eliminate politics, because politics are the ones that destroy chamas, groups, circles, and companies. Then it also needs transparency. That's why you need spreadsheet, Excel, trackers, so that each member knows this is how much I have contributed. So when dividend come and you want to share, you already know how to share. If you already have a platform, maybe a system that can help you in tracking, well and good. So then, setting up, today I'll go through Chama Investment Committee, because for a company that is straight, a company already have directors and shareholders, so you only need to make that resolution. For groups, it's the same as chamas. So whatever I discuss about chama goes for groups. If it is a circle, then the circle already have its own operations. But if it's not, if it doesn't, then the same rules follow here. So you form a committee to guide on investment. You can decide 2 people are the ones who will be initiating meetings when we are discussing NSE, and these is what they'll be assisting us in discussion. So you form a committee so that when you're meeting next, that committee already have recommendations from AIB, shares to buy, how much you need to deposit, and how you need to share dividends, so that when you meet, you only need to sit down and discuss it. Then you write by rules. These are rules that everyone has to agree on. 1, who contributes how much? When contributions are made. Because it's not a must we contribute on date 1. We can decide there are those people who contribute on date 1, the others 15, the others on 20th, depending on when their salary comes in. Then how profits when you sell and dividends when you receive are shared, or whether you want to reinvest them. Then exit rules. This is the most important thing, even for joint accounts. If someone leaves, what happens? Does it mean we offload everything? Does it mean you offload their portion? What if they die? What happens? They have beneficiaries. So you need even rules that govern how you handle beneficiaries. Remember, AIB, we only know the Chama, not the individuals. So when you come, you tell you go and come with your resolution. That resolution needs to be very clear on how you resolve the issues. Then as an add-on, you can decide all the documents you need a lawyer to certify so that there is no dispute at all. You will find you are growing that Chama, not just as a Chama, but as a future circle. Remember that some of these Chamas are the ones translate into a circle. You have already made your investment. You can decide, let's upgrade to a circle. Or you can decide now, whatever we have invested, instead of sharing, so you have some good amount in NSE, and you are receiving some good dividend. We can offload some shares, then start tendering out. We get tenders from government or other county government or other companies. You're earning an extra income as a Chama from your small contributions which you put in NSE. And you might find after some time, you're employing yourselves as Chama members. You don't need any employment from the returns you're getting from your own Chama. You also employ your own kids so that they will not be employed out. You have invested in NSE, you have grown your portfolio, dividend come in, you return. After, let's say, 10 years, you decide, let's open a company. That company will employ you, sits you and maybe your kids or your relatives. So that's how you can create wealth and even jobs at NSE. Start investing slowly. Then when you grow your investment, you can decide it's time now to open a company for this Chama, employ members. Then you continue the gains you are getting here. You open now a company account. So you have a Chama account and a company account. So as Chama members, you're still contributing to your Chama CDSE, and as a company, you're investing. So these investment committee and bylaws, think of it as a constitution for your investment group, because it is needed when opening an account, so that AIB is not left to decide on what to do with the shares, because we are not allowed. We depend either on instructions from the members or court instructions. So then how do you manage risks? Remember, there are so many risks when you are investing as a group. So one of them is contribution discipline. It needs to have penalties for it payment so that members feel that pain and they pay early. Then you separate your investment account from expenses. If you have a bank account, have one for investment and maybe one for expenses, or you know how you'll be handling both of them so that you don't mix investment with expenses. Then at the end, you're not able to tally. That's why I said you need a tracker so that any coin that moves of the bank account can be accounted for where it went. So in the spreadsheet now for Chama, you have an extra sheet now for expenses. then bank account for reconciliation. For those who have done finance, you know reconciliation, where you have on one side what you have used against your bank. So you are reconciling every coin that have left the bank where it has gone. Then if possible, apply for insurance and legal agreements just for protection. And this insurance you can even extend to medical. Remember we said you can grow your Chama to a company, get medical. It means even your Chama members, they will not need to pay for hospital bills. This insurance can cover. So you can start slowly. You first get an insurance for your Chama contributions. You just talk to insurance companies, see how much they can charge you. So that in case of anything, insurance can come and cover in. Then legal agreements. You may need an advocate or a lawyer who can be signing this document for you. For a small fee, maybe 200 for every document. You don't need to pay them a consultancy fee. They're just signing. And in case there is any disagreement, they're the ones to handle. They are the ones to have a copy of your constitution. And then appoint trustworthy signatories. Or you have a clause where it's all of you to sign. But remember, if you are 20, 30, those signatures, they are too many. So you can decide, maybe you appoint a few, but you'll have a document that you sign all of you. But if it is transactions in the broker, it's two to come and sign, then you attach the signature for all. Or you find a way where everybody have given the authority. Then when investing, don't invest on one sector. Even individual, never invest in one sector. If one sector is affected, remember your portfolio is affected. Or even one stock. If it is affected, you are affected. Look at Mumias. If you invested in Mumia shares when they were booming, now it is suspended, what would happen? So try to diversify. Even for Chama, diversify. Have rule, like you say, 40% is on banking stocks, 30 telecos, 20% goes to manufacturing, then 10% we put it in liquid cash or we put it in bonds. Then you have a voting system for decisions where majority wins. But again, when you created Chama, you created in good faith. So I wouldn't expect, unless somebody is of a different opinion or a region does not allow them to invest on a certain sector. I don't see why you need a voting system. Because you only need to agree we are buying a added Safaricom. This is the reason. So again, you can grow a portfolio with Chama. This is for Chama. Remember, for kids, we said 1,000. Even for you as an individual, you can start with 1,000. Joint, you can even start 1,000 each. Now for Chama, you can decide. We have 5 members. Every month, we can be contributing 10,000. Or annually, 10,000. In total, you already have 50,000. This 50,000, you can decide 20,000 goes to Safaricom. Safaricom is a growth. Growth means it appreciates in price. It came from 5, it went to 20, 40, it's back to 20. It fluctuates within those prices. And we project even in future it might go high. And it also gives dividend. So I hope that I have explained growth stocks and dividend stocks. Growth stocks are the ones that appreciate in price. Dividend stocks are the ones that give dividends. So 20,000 you can put in Safaricom. Then you come to KCB, you decide banking sector, it's 15,000 KCB. Then 10,000, maybe in manufacturing, let's say BAT, it gives a dividend. Then 5,000, you can decide it is ETF. So that you have different sectors. You're not exposed to one sector. Ideally, you have a balance in your portfolio across sectors. Then you're earning from both capital gains and dividend. Capital gains is the profit you make after selling shares. If you make a loss, it is called capital loss. And capital loss and capital gains, you only realize when you sell. When you log into DigiTrader, you see it is red or green. Don't panic, you have not sold. Prices will still move, even if not now. You only realize when you do the actual sell. For dividends, you don't need to sell, it comes automatically to you. As long as the company have declared, then it protects you against one sector collapsing. So I'll try and create these spreadsheets, which I can share with you. Then you can use them for your Chama management. Then come and open that account with AIB. And going forward now, you start seeing themed accounts in AIB. You see the way when you go to Coop Bank, you tell them, I have an account, a Jabo Junior account. For them, they know it as Jabo Junior. So you start having those themed accounts. So that at least even when you're calling, even our staff member know which account you're talking about. Maybe you have a joint account with your wife, you have a joint account with your family member, and you have an individual account. When you call, for us, we may not know which account you want access to. But now with the themed account, to make it easier for you. So the tracker, again, member contribution, then ownership. Remember here you are buying shares. Even if you are buying as one figure, you need to know how much of that Safaricom shares each member owns. That depends on their contribution. So you need to track that if you can. Then shares bought per company, because you need to know Safaricom, how many shares do you have? So that when you go for the next meeting, you know how to make decisions. Then all the dividends received and how they have been shared, and what is remaining unshared or what have been invested. Then the current value of portfolio, because you may go to a meeting and realize we have made profit, let's say. And always make everything open and clear to avoid mistrust. That's why I said every spreadsheet you create, always share with the members. So before we come to goal-based investment, let me pick a few questions. And I hope I'm as layman as I can. I'm not using terminologies. I don't want to use terminologies. We had gone up to where? Check dividend. So I bought shares last week. I still don't understand what is happening. I'm just seeing things moving up and down. Please, where can I see the shares I bought? And up to what time can I sell the shares again? Maurice, you just go to, on the app or portal, just go to portfolio valuation. Actually, let me log into my portal. I just show you where you can see that. It's only that I don't think that time will be enough for me to show you on the app. But next week I'll do on the app. Let's today go to portal. Let me just log in. I'm just putting my password, then I share. Let me share screen. Previously, we have done training for app. So today I think it is fair if I use the portal. So when you log in, the first thing you see is the refer and earn. Like as you can see, when you log in, if you have some funds here, those are the funds you have earned so far from the client you have referred, and you can track that on daily basis. When they trade, you get 50% commission. So don't share the referral code. You click copy link. You send it to your friend. When they open, it is defaulted here. As you can see the code here. They can't remove it. So you are sure when they open account, you get commission share. 50% of what we charge for 1 year. So for the trade they do for 1 year, 50%. And the way it is calculated, at the end of the month, we calculate the total for that month. Then the following month, the first working day, we post the total for you. So let me skip these. So when you're on the portal, you go to the reports, you come to portfolio valuation. This is where you see the shares. You can see the net worth. That's the that is the total valuation plus the cash. So it's the total value, it's the total between portfolio valuation and ledger balance. What does that mean? Portfolio value is the value of your shares if you are to sell today. Ledger balance is the cash you have. Mine is a negative because I owe AIB. I owe AIB. So that is the difference. So yours should be positive. So the total is your net worth. So if you are to ask, if a person was to ask you, what is your net worth in NSE? Just go to portfolio valuation, pick the net worth. If you are to sell your shares today, that is the amount you will have. You can request to be paid because your portfolio value will be added to ledger balance. Less the fees. So this is why you see the shares. You can see I have cables which was suspended. That's why it is in my portfolio. I have not sold. And I will not sell until it is unsuspended. Once it is unsuspended, it is a decision to make. But if it is suspended, what stops it from being suspended again? So the best decision, even if I be at a loss, I just offload, buy a dividend stock. That dividend I will receive maybe twice or thrice to compensate for the loss. So never hold a stock which is at a loss for a very long time. You only need to factor out, if I was to sell today, how much loss do I get? If I was to buy another stock like Safaricom, which is giving dividend, how many shares will I get out of this sale? So how much dividend will I get? How long will it take for me to recover this loss? If it is just 1 year, just sell, buy Safaricom. Within 1 year, you have recovered and you continue, as if you never made loss in the market. But remember, this loss is not realized loss because I've not sold. You only realize when you sell. It's only that you don't want to hold on a stock which keeps on accumulating losses forever and it's not giving you dividend. So this is where you see the shares. If you go to the statement, this is where you track the cash you have put in. Like mine, let me just go to, let's do this. Like you see, there is this referral payment which was posted on my account. It was posted on 1st August for the referrals that came in July. So it is posted on this account and I can withdraw if I want to withdraw or buy more shares. So portfolio valuation, shares and their value. Statement is your cash. Then you have stock holdings. This you find on the portal, just gives you the shares that you have. This one helps you to know whether you can sell shares. So if you go to a stock and it has holdings free, these are shares which are balance free. Used or blocked means these shares you can't sell again. Either there is an order which you have put to sell and it's not yet executed, or you have taken loan with your shares and they are blocked at CDSE. Then the available quantity is what you can sell. So on the portal, you have stock holdings report. So let me get out of this. We go back to Q&A. We go back to Q&A, then I will come to the final slides. Let me see time. Okay, we still have some time, but I don't want to take a lot of time. Even if we had trained up to 3, once we are done with the Q&A, I'll be free to release you. So then when you're investing, you need to have some goals. This is what we call goal-based investing. Never invest for the sake of it. You will eventually find you have lost because you don't have a goal you're basing your investment on. So you set, track, and achieve that goal. And it helps you stay disciplined. Remember, when you're investing without a goal, you can decide, this month I will not put. Let me first buy a shoe. Then next month, you find, okay, I need another shoe. So by the time you're realizing you have lost 1 year. But if you have goals, then it helps you stay disciplined and focused. So there are 3 different goals you can set in your investments. This is not just an NSE, it's general investment. You have short term, which could be between 1 year and 3 years. This you can do using emergency funds. You can use money market funds. The goals you are targeting in short term, maybe you are looking for an emergency fund, which you can use maybe for medical, or you're looking for school fees or vacation. That you are setting for a short term. Then there is medium term, 3 to 7 years. Maybe you want to buy a car in the next 3 years or 7 years. Maybe a house deposit or to start a business. Then long-term goal, maybe for retirement, maybe your kids' education fund or building your wealth. So make sure you write goals which are clear and assign time frames and amount. When you set goals, assign time frame and amount. So for each goal, then what assets can you invest? Assets in investment are grouped different products that you can invest in. So you see this word interchange, asset and investment. So for short term, you can use money market fund, because money market fund you can withdraw overnight. Treasury bills, which are short term, they are safe and liquid. That's for short term. But also you can have bank deposits. Maybe it could be a savings account or a core account. For medium term, you can use bonds, balance funds, and blue chip dividend stocks. The stocks that are giving you dividend, because this dividend is what you can use in the medium term. But also on short term, you can use dividends. But remember dividends, unless you have a volume of shares. For long term, this is when you go for growth stocks because of price movement. It takes time for prices to grow, both NSE and international markets. Then you have exchange traded funds, ETFs. Then you have offshore investment or international stocks. It could be maybe funds, offshore funds, and maybe also property. Then you need to match risk level so that you know what risk you are taking. For short term, it's all about safety. Long term, it's growth. Then you have trackers. I won't build this today because of time, but next Wednesday, I'm going through trading, actual trading on the app, and also now coming up with these spreadsheets so that we can use these spreadsheets to do the actual trading. So that I don't give you a spreadsheet just for the sake of it or for the sake of this training. No, we use it that day and see how you can use it. We also go now through the app and how you can trade. So you need to have a monthly tracker with maybe color codes. It's very with the colors you can easily tell when it changes to green, yellow, red. You already know where you are in. So you can track contributions and growth each month, and it helps you see that progress at glance. For these, again, Google Sheets, they are free, or if you have Excel. I would prefer Google Sheets because Google Sheets is in your Gmail account. You can always track it, access it anywhere. And you can use formulas to create sliders. I will create one and show you how it works, but you don't need to be technical. Just try to be as simple as you can. Then use formulas to auto-calculate even your target values in future. So a good example is where you say, I'll be saving 5,000 per month for 10 years. 5,000 per month for 10 years. How much will you have at the 10th year? Remember, we did this with junior investment. So in 1 year, you already have 60,000 because that is 5,000 times 12. In 10 years, then you have 600,000. Here you are buying stocks, growth stocks, and dividends. You might find the shares have appreciated that the 600,000, if you are to sell that time, you have gained another 200,000. That is 800,000. Then the dividends you have received over the time maybe also accumulates to around another 200,000. You have made your 1 million in 10 years from 5,000. Just by regular contribution and compounding. Compounding is where You receive your dividend, return it back, buy shares. When they gain in price, you sell, you buy another stock. Let's say today Safaricom price shoots to 100. It has never gone above 40. Would you wait for it to go above that? I would sell and come and buy another stock and wait to see what Safaricom have, where the price goes for Safaricom. Even if it goes up, I will not regret because I've already made those gains. Huh? So in 10 years, you might find your portfolio have grown past 1 million, just with the regular deposit of just 5,000 a month. Huh? Buying stocks that, giving stocks, dividends, and those ones that you anticipate prices will move. Huh? And you can tell that by company performance. We have done those tutorials before, and those videos are in the same YouTube channel. I will post these. It's not on the AIB channel. For many reasons, you have seen I'm using personal data for training. I'm using my own personal data. So the lesson you learn here is start small, be consistent in investing and compounding. You get good results. Don't eat that dividend. Even if it is small, just return it. It will help you build your wealth. Then how do you build a realistic wealth? You can start even with 1,000 to create 1 million portfolio. You only need to be consistent. You don't need, and we always tell our clients, when you open an account, you don't need 10,000. Just put the minimum 3,000, activate your account. It is activated, you are ready to start investing. Whatever amount you have, that small amount can outgrow your portfolio. You can decide every day, I will forego 200, just 200 shillings to buy shares. Every day, including weekends, I will forego 200. At the end of the month, you have 6,000. Isn't it what we are talking about here, 5,000? Just by saying 200 bob, I forego every day. You can create a very good portfolio. The trick here is start small. Don't push your pocket. Stay consistent and diversify as grow. Right now we have old roads and normal. I believe NSC, and I have not seen official communication to us saying you can buy without a limit. So these old roads now will not be there. So you're able to buy any share anytime. Target the shares that trade at 20 shillings if you don't have enough money. Don't try to struggle and buy the expensive stocks, because the dividend that you get from those stocks is very small. So you only need to weigh, how much can I put in? Which shares can I buy? Accumulate slowly. Over time, you have built your portfolio. So with a small amount, you can start even with orders. For expensive shares that trade even 200, you can buy one share. With 1,000, you may have around 5 shares. So if they give a dividend of 10, you already have 50. So you can continue accumulating, because every share you buy, we add to your existing portfolio. It's not put separately at 100, then you have another 100. No, they are added together. 100, the other 100, the other 10. So that is 210. You have a total of 210. And when getting to this market, first learn the market, practice trading, and grow with confidence. Never invest with emotions. What you hear there outside, let people make noise, but don't invest with that noise. Verify the noise with the regulator, CMA. Anything said by CMA is final. Any other person, if it's not approved by the regulator, then that is noise. Then rely with NSE, CDSE, broker, and umbrella parties that I've said are involved. CASIB, they are registrars, their company themselves. Any other information, verify. Even news, business daily, verify that information. Remember, news anchors, they want to just bring that headline to capture you to buy that newspaper. When you buy anything else, it's out of their hands. Verify that information. Don't use just information to invest. So let's say you have less than 100,000 and you want to invest. You can decide, I will invest on dividend stocks. You pick a few. I had already shared that spreadsheet that have dividend stocks and when they tentatively announce those dividends. During those months, if you go to NSE price list, you find those counters have announced dividend if they are paying that year. So you can use that and decide, I will put some money in dividend stocks, then ETFs, exchange traded funds for security, because remember ETFs is a collection of shares. So one share gaining within ETF, you are gaining. If one loses and one gains, there is that averaging. Yeah, it's not like buying individual stocks. Then you put in money market fund. These are safe and liquid. They usually have good returns, but always check. This is what we forget. Always check whether there is exit fees, management fees, and any other hidden cost. Then there are government boards. Maybe the minimum is around 50,000. So you can also start buying, but also check your returns. And you can try and split now the 100,000 within the various assets, like we did with Junior. So if you have more than 100,000, then you are at growth state. Yeah, you can buy anything. If you have 1 million, you can decide 100,000 bonds. NSE stocks, I'll put 200,000. I got rates, put some small amount. Global ETFs and stocks, I put another amount. Then you decide, I will also have a balanced portfolio where I'm buying other different asset classes. So you can try and mix it so that you also have a safe haven. When stocks go down, you have bonds. Maybe that's the time interest rates have gone up. And you also have money market fund. When the rates have gone down, maybe that's when NSE and international markets prices have gone up. And always start small. Don't pressure yourself. Start small and grow with consistency. Don't try to push your pocket, because ideally the money that you are pushing yourself to buy shares, you'll be forced to sell those shares to pay maybe something else. So always use your free cash where possible. Always budget for it. Create a budget. The spreadsheet, you can create that budget and know how much I'll be putting in shares and stick to that. And always diversify wisely at every level. Remember, there is the starting stage, there is the growth stage, and then the final state where now you are just a retiree, where you are just collecting dividends. That's what everybody is looking for. Where you just be sitting down, dividends are hitting your account, interest is hitting your account. You are not selling your shares, you're looking to pass over to your beneficiary. And with a long-term discipline, ideally we have seen you can turn 1,000 into, you don't want to go to that, let's go to Q&A. Let me go to the first slide so that for those who want to pick my number and my email, you can just pick it there. I'm happy to help you anytime. So let's go through Q&A. I saw somewhere that now that schools are closed, there is a plan for junior to visit NSE. Do you offer such opportunity? As the IB, we want to start even trainings, so that the juniors now start understanding the market and even how to trade. They can come physically or we can do it online. It will all depend with you as the investor. You see this with time. Maybe from tomorrow you start seeing some advertisements. Then if you are ready to open an account, we are happy to help you. Just get in touch. How do you then transfer the junior account kids as they turn 18? Remember, account is opened as using their name, you as the guardian. Their account automatically converts to a senior account. Or That time they will have ID. They will come and open now an individual account, then we transfer shares. It all depends on the way the account is opened. But that's the headache of the broker, it should not be the headache of you as a client. So I hope I've answered. It will just be converted. Remember, we use the birth certificate. It's the same one that is used for when applying for ID. It will just be converted automatically. We only need now to update now with their details, with the kids' details. If I want to become a preferred shareholder, do I use CDS account or it's private with the company? You don't transfer to them, they just become the main owner account once okay. I think for Junior it's already answered there. Now, if you want to become preferred shareholder, and I hope here you're asking majority shareholder, your work is just to buy shares without selling. Like what did Dinyoro used to do with KPLC? You're just buying without selling until you become majority shareholder, where you have now the upper hand in the say of that company. Actually, that's what most people are doing these days. They just buy and hold shares just to become majority shareholder, and they have say and even control over that company. But even you as a small shareholder, you have during AGMs. Let me see this one. I bought shares last week. It was answered by one of client. I want to see what was. I think these are answered. Where you can see your shares. Just go to portfolio valuation. It has everything. For individual account, you don't need to do Excel unless you want to do other things with it, maybe tracking your goals. Portfolio valuation will give you everything. But it's also good. I've seen clients, it's only that we disabled taking screenshots for the app for security because we realize most of us are posting that screenshot on social media. First of all, it is misleading other people. If I'm posting my portfolio valuation and I've made a 1 million, you'll be tempted to think you can make 1 million in NSC. But how much have I invested to make that 1 million? How long have it taken for me to get that 1 million? You see, I'll be telling you, you can make that 1 million tomorrow, and maybe it has taken me 20 years. Maybe even part of that is an inheritance. So that's why we stopped that, just to make sure our clients, and it is industry-wide, it's not just AIB, just to protect client interest. So you can also use Excel, where now you have maybe on daily basis you are putting, so that you can tell over time how your portfolio is growing. Thank you, Collins, for that. Can you use your shares portfolio to access credit loans from financial institutions? Yes, you only need to confirm with your bank whether they accept shares as a collateral. Most of the major banks, they do, even SACCOs. So what you do, you just go to them. Once you confirm you want to take share, they write a letter to the broker, you bring it. We will block those shares so that you can't sell. Once you clear on, you bring clearance letter, we lift REN, so that it's called REN. We lift it so that now you can sell. So shares, they act as a collateral for loans. What if one opens an account and instead tops up 1,000 in the start? Can one start trading with that? Joseph, you can send a request to my email or WhatsApp because we don't want to rock everyone. If you have put 1,000, just talk to us. We can always help you. What if one opens an account and instead, okay, that one I've answered. Not a question, but some feedback. The session recorded and shared on YouTube are great, but you have a background noise that's very loud and distracting. Could it be the music? If it is music, I will mute it. I will mute it. I'll mute it. I'll try even for the existing videos on that channel. Thank you for that. I'll try and remove it. Two orange lines means on a stock. It means that stock have not moved in price. If you notice, the other have either a red triangle or a green triangle. If it is just two lines, it means there is no price movement for that day based on previous closing price. On top of having to set goals, people need to have, yes, you also need an investment policy. But as an individual, if you are starting, don't worry about those so many worksheets. Start simple, start creating slowly. Accessing treasury bills on AIB platform. This one you can only get through our board steering team. Because for boards, they are not that liquid like shares. If you have a buy order, it's not a must you get a sell order. It needs that trader to negotiate with another willing seller. Hopefully, CBK in future they can bring it on their platform or even to the brokers. Getting recorded sessions. Let me share that channel. Hopefully, I'm sharing the right thing. I will share the playlist, but I will also share the videos on our social media accounts for AIB. I always share the links. Looking for that playlist because it has other stuff. Let me actually share the WhatsApp channel because that's the most one I use. This web guide. I'm sharing the link to my WhatsApp channel because this is where I share even trainings, any other training material that you may not find in AIB, that can help you in your investment. That is the channel. I've shared the link. Just follow, you don't need to join. Also notes I will share there, and I will also share links to other platforms where I share this information. I think for becoming preferred shareholder, I've explained, your work is to buy shares without selling, and you're buying in big blocks. How can I talk through AIB Digitrader? If it is buying shares, we can do that on Wednesday because of time. But what you do, you go to watch list. At the bottom, you see several icons. Click on watch list, you see the shares. Don't swipe. Click on the share to see the market depth. There you decide the price you want to buy or sell. After that, now you have buy and sell button. But I'll go through the whole process next week. Would you advise someone to invest in the expensive shares, or is it better to buy lesser priced but you get more shares? You can distribute your investment. Right now, NSC, they're opening up from one share up. Hopefully prices can readjust that time because now there will be liquidity even for odd lots. You can buy even the expensive shares that offer dividends, or those that move in price with huge margin. I think there are those that even move with 20 shilling in a day. You can buy and take that price difference, but always factor cost. If a child has a dual citizenship, If they have a passport which is not expired, you can share, or a Kenyan birth certificate. But in your case, Cynthia will pick it up after this. Hopefully I can get you through the form. I would like to know if FIDA ETF is listed. Yes, it is listed. If it is not there on your app or portal, just go to where it says add script. Click on it. Scroll down, you see it. There is a plus sign. Click on that to tick. It turns to green, save. It is added to your watch list. We actually added it the first day it was listed, but again, it's not trading. I have not seen any trades. Maybe Eunice, let me see, we still have some time. Let me go to the portal. I just show you how to add. For the app, I may need to connect my phone, which I don't have the cable right now. I'm still logged in. Let me share this. It's the same thing you just do on the app. Anytime you miss any share or stock or ETF on our platform and you're at home, let's say APSA is not there, then we can go, actually let me use that ETF. It is this one. So I'll click delete button, and there are those clients who are deleting, then you go to CMA and complain that we have deleted. It is you as the client, you have seen it is me deleting. If I want to remove Amica, I'll just click there and click yes. Even if I refresh and log out a million times, it won't come back until I add. So you go to plus script. On the app, it's already there, the search button. Then you come to select, you scroll down to where it is. I had removed APSA, so I click on it. Then I go to the ETF. It is down here. SMW, where is it? It's here. And SKR, if it is not added, I select. Then I'll click save. Click add. On the app, it's the same thing. And they are back. You have seen APSA is back. SM, it is here. And if you look at the market depth, the small window on the right, the one with the red and some, is it right, bluish? There is a bid, but there is no supply. So that's the downside of these things. You find they are listed, but you can't trade. SKR is trading. You can see there is bid and supply. It's already there, trading. Hope now it is clear how to add. If it's not clear, I'll be happy now to go through the app next week in details. So let me pick the other questions. Hi, Peter, for the question, there is a difference between common shareholder and preferred with special preferred. Using CDS account for privilege, this one you can get in touch via email. I can check with our research. But as long as you have your majority shareholder, you have those privileged rights. So common shareholders are the people who have less shares. And I gave an example of Dinyoro. He bought so many shares of KPLC, he became a majority shareholder. Immediately you become a majority shareholder, then you have special privileges through your CDS account. There is no different system for buying shares on listed companies. It's only through NSE and through your CDS account. So it only depends on the number of shares you hold. So if you want to become a preferred shareholder, you can Google. I think that information is always made available. Google the majority shareholder maybe for Kengen. You get the list. You only need to make sure you have more shares than them. But remember, even them, they are buying more. For the music, I will remove. YouTube channel. I didn't want to share it directly, but for your interest, let me just share. I was looking for that playlist so that I don't share everything, because the others don't belong to stock markets. I'm looking for that playlist. Is it for stocks? It's called My Wealth Guide KE. So let me share that. This is where you find all the videos, and there is one video I need to post within the week for the last Wednesday's training. The last Wednesday that we did training. So I've shared that. Umeme paid, but the amount was deposited on M-Pesa does not. The amount sent to the app platform for ease of investing. I don't get this question. Umeme paid, but the amount was deposited on M-Pesa. Does the amount get sent to EIB platform for ease of reinvesting? No. For dividends, they are sent to you as the investor through either M-Pesa, bank, or check. If you want to reinvest, just deposit back. It is by regulations which we are bound to. But we are trying to work with the regulator to see if the funds can be brought back to your account, trading account. Will there be an update on platform with the opening of ability to buy one share? Actually, it is there. I'm only changing the limit of 100 to put it 1. Then the minimum to 1, just that and save, and you continue trading. But again, official communication from NSE. Me, I've not seen it. I'm only seeing things on social media. And again, I think over time I've seen even other players posting, but we have not received an official email. You see, IB cannot rely because we don't know who is running NSE Twitter. We don't know who is running CDS Twitter. We don't know who is running CASIB. CMA, I don't think they have posted on their social media. I've not seen. So once it is communicated on 8th, very early in the morning, it will be activated. But my question would be, if you are buying one share, a million of you, and I brought my 1 million order to sell 1 million shares, what happens to my order? I hope NSE had thought about it because that is their platform, not our platform. Our platform will execute on theirs. You just said the order, it executes there. It may mean my 1 million order will execute small lots, 1 million of them. I hope that's already taken care of. Again, after that execution, Peter will get 1 million emails from AIB. Do I blame AIB or do I blame NSE? I'm bringing this up so that when things happen on that day, we don't blame any broker. We have NSE. Again, we have files to upload to update your system. They come from NSE and CDSE. Excel, the amount of data it can hold, how many cells can it hold? I think it is less than 1 million if I'm not wrong. That's one client with 1 million, plus now the Boda 1 million, those are 2 million. We have other stocks which are being traded. So I hope we are not creating a crisis in the market that we have to halt the market that day. As I said, I've not seen any official communication. Once it is sent, we will do it. And I think this could have triggered them to move from 1st to 8th. Hopefully they resolve those issues. If they have not, let's not blame the broker. Our work is activate. If NSE have not activated, your order is rejected, it is NSE, not us. We will rely on NSE trading platform. I see on social media, client blaming a broker. Yet NSE, they have the system. CDSE, they have the shares. Broker only have connection to those platforms. If they are down, we are down. If there are changes to be made and they are not made on their side, then us, we are also stuck. So I hope they have taken care of that. I've just given one example, 1 million shares with 1 million investors. Those are 2 million transactions. Excel, CSV file, even text file, 1 million transaction, it will even hang. Will even the system be able to track? Do they have the capacity even to oversight all those things? I hope they won't move it forward because I'm also looking forward to that. I would love to buy that one share. Buying shares on through AIB Digitrader. Just check on that. In the meantime, Dennis, just check that channel. I have posted the full video on how to go through it. Trading. I've also done blog on the same. Then next Wednesday, let's meet. For now, you can just go through those videos. If there is anything else you need, I'm very happy to take you through on my WhatsApp. Just get in touch. The international stock, is it easy to buy as it is for the local stocks? Once we bring it on international, once we bring international stocks on AIB Digitrader and app, you just be executing the same way you buy NSE shares. Imagine it is very easy. It's very easy. It's the same way you just put the number of shares, amount, you just submit and it executes with your match. Once it comes to Digitrader, it will be easy. For now, it is going through our desk. So you as the client, you don't need to worry. And in terms of ownership of shares, remember shares were converted from certificate to digital. So if you need to prove any ownership, it's the broker to certify that. The statement. The statement from broker CDSE needs to be certified by the broker. If it is CDSE, needs to be certified by CDSE. If it is international markets, the broker needs to certify for you. Removing securities from watch list. If it is on the app, just long press the name my watch list 1 or my watch list. You notice on each stock a bucket to delete appears. Just click on it, confirm. But again, remember to return it so that you don't go to CMA and say AIB platform is missing this stock. I can't be able to buy or sell. Yet you removed from your side. To add, you just go to add script, tick on it, save. I can tell you, put a lot of effort in this presentation and it showed a great job. Thank you, Cynthia. I actually am trying as much as I can to help you people invest and make wealth in NSE. This is where wealth is. It's only that we have not been able to get people bring this information out practically. There's a question, why do you need to map CDS account to a broker? In CDSE, remember as a client, you can't trade directly. NSE. CDSE, you can't open, you can open account, but you need a broker. Why? Because at the time of execution of trade at NSE, you need a broker. That's why in CDSE, you find each trade is tagged to a broker. If you go to, let's say, Gegis, and you try to access AIB portfolio, you won't see it. Because at CDSE, it is tagged to the broker who opened account for you. And the simple reason is broker have the role of opening CDSE accounts, handling settlement, trades, and client advisory. That you will not find in NSE and CDSE, but that's by regulation. Huh? I may suspect why the question would be if NSE can take over the market. I know there is that excitement. They can't. It requires a full change of Capital Markets Authority, the CMA Act. Just look at it, what it says. That means going back to Parliament. And MPs are members of these stockbrokers. Some are not. So would they support it? You can guess. But it requires a full change of the CMA Act. NSE trading rules, CMA, CTSE account opening procedures. It's a lot of work. The The rule of buying shares at AIB Digitrader starts at multiples of 100. Why? Because the official date for changing that is 8th August. That is by NSE's social media account and CDSE social media account. Me have not received any official communication. It started with CASIB, they said it is fast. NSE and CDSE, they have come and said it's 8th. We are waiting whether CMA will also come in and maybe say the next one. Huh? Hopefully, Aris, that I am taking some time so that you understand where we are coming from as a broker. Because I know on first we were blamed only for NSE to come and say it is 8th. Now NSE and CDSE, they have said it is 8th. We were waiting for official communication. I've given you not as AIB position, but as Peter who knows all these platforms, what will happen that day. It's not AIB's position, it's Peter. Peter is a client like you. What will happen that day, having the understanding of the market? Please don't circulate it. Let's wait for that day. We hope for the best. Hopefully it won't crash the market, because that's the worst thing that can happen. Because NSE, CDSE, CMA, they will suspend trading for the whole day, trying to reconcile those transactions for no reasons. I wish they said the board for multiples of 100, it be retained, but you're not buying multiples of 100. You can buy 110, 120 like that without changing anything. Then they leave the board for odd lots. 1 share to 99, buy on it. That removes that headache of so many transactions. Otherwise, let's just wait for that day. There is a reason why the odd lots board was brought up in the market, and the people who brought it have already left the market. If you look at the time of Peter Mwangi and Jeff Odudo, at no time they decided they would remove that board because they knew what would happen to the market. Now with the change, I don't know what will happen. We just wait. Hopefully nothing happens. But again, some information is just out there on social media, no official communication. Huh? Once it is sent, hopefully they can send by tomorrow so that we activate. Putting timestamps, thanks Cynthia, I'll do that. Huh? I think it's something I forgot because not everybody wants to watch the whole video. I'll do for all the videos. Huh? It's only that I got overwhelmed editing, uploading, sharing, but now I'll add. How to get advice on what shares to buy? Source of information, just join our social media. There's a WhatsApp channel. Let me share that link. AIB Access Africa. Under research on our website, we have a WhatsApp group and Telegram group. Those are purely for research. The channel is for training. I'm trying to separate research from training. Because you see on this side, I'm not telling you which shares to buy, but research, they tell you which shares to buy, hold, things like that. So you can join. Now those are groups. So if it's any other information outside a broker, please verify. Brokers are the only source of information, plus now CDSE, NSE, CMA, and any other financial advisor who is approved by the regulator. Always check on CMA and NSE website. But that does not mean the people who are also doing training out there, they are not certified. They are also qualified, but remember you can't base your trading decision on their information. Sorry, even for research, you will see disclaimer. NSC, CMA, NSC, CDSE, and broker seem many, but I won't complain if it makes our money save. They are not many. The reason is NSE provides trading system. CDSE hold your shares. Broker, they come in and connect you between NSE and CDSE. CMA, they oversight everything. So why is that? CDSE cannot execute your trades. They cannot sell your shares because they don't have trading platform. NSE cannot trade your shares because they don't have them there with CDSE. It's only the broker, and the broker by regulation, they need your instructions. Remember, NSE and CDSE, they can't handle your money, but it's the way stock market, capital markets was structured many years back. But maybe with time it will go the route for international market where you find custodian is also the executing broker. But for NSE, I don't think that can be happen. There's a lot to be done. Contact for financial advisor. Just check on research. You can get in touch with our office so that you also get a different opinion. Just ask them for somebody you can talk to. They will be happy to give you. Commissions are not high, Collins. I think, again, the information that is out there, if you only know how much brokers make, it's a very small amount. And there are a lot of work they do. Commission is very small. I can tell you, 1.3%. It's very small. There is a broker who is charging you 1.68. And I've seen the comment, you buy shares transaction free, commission free. I want to ask you one question. The price that you buy it, is it the exact price from the market? I'm the pioneer for international markets at AIB. That's why I've asked that question. Is it the price you're getting from the market? No. The price you're executing it with the brokers who are telling you it's commission free, transaction free, usually includes something called spreads. You find in the market they are getting the shares at 140.2, but you, when you're buying at 140.8. This 0.6 difference is the charge, which I will never tell you. Remember, they are giving you the price feed, which you can see. They can give you the price feed, but do you have access to that live feed from the market? Broker will never tell you they are giving you live feed. Like for DigiTrader, let me just ask here, and I want to see on the chart, is it the live feed from NSE or it is delayed? I will come to your question, Beth. I want to see on the chart, is it live NSE price or is it delayed? Maybe on the chart I can see from somebody. For DigiTrader, the live feed you see is live from NSE. That means the price that you can see there is what is quoted at NSE for all the other brokers. But go to international stock platforms that are provided by those brokers which say that it's free. Check their price and compare with another platform which is giving live feed. You see there is a difference. That difference is the cost. They will never tell you. They know we as the client, we don't check the price, we just execute. And there was a proposal even in NSE for us to offer the same. But why should I hide a fee? That's why even international market, AIB, have told you we are charging 0.8% without any other cost. The price we are giving you is exact from the market. Because the worst thing you can do is write to a client, then later they realize there was a price fee. Because either way, one day it will come out. Either through regulation, maybe when they are doing audit, they say, oh, AIB Kube, you have been giving price, but within that price, you are charging extra fee. When we went for approval from CMA, we said, we want to be open. This is the charge. We don't want to promise you free commission, free transaction. We are paying bills. Just ask yourself, how are they paying their bills? Cost is hidden in the price, and it is usually higher than the broker who is showing you the commission. So even NSE, when you say lower fees, NSE will say we will not charge, CMA will not charge, CDSE, but put it in the fees, in the price. You as the client, you never know. That's why the way it is in NSE, let it remain like that. because you already know what broker is charging you. It's the brokers to compete amongst themselves. They decide to lower to get clients rather than we hide it in the price. Because you find in AIB you have bought Safaricom at 20, then in Faida you have bought at 22, and you're wondering what is the difference, but there is that fee hidden there. Liberty, is it a good buy? Yes, from research, they confirmed it's a good buy because it offers dividend. Any stock that is giving you dividend is a good buy, as long as you are not intending to sell. Because again, you need to factor that dividend in your in your cost. You run new things, so they are not free. Of course, they are not free. And I've asked a simple question: how do they pay their bills? And they are making profit. Don't forget. So you find it's something they call spreads. When you're talking to any broker in the international market, not NSE. NSE, the prices are open because you can see them. Apart from a few apps which have a delayed price feed. That's why I asked for DigiTrader, because I wanted to confirm whether clients know they're executing directly at NSE. In NSE, every provider is supposed to tell you if they have a delayed feed, they tell you it has a delay of 15 minutes or whatever minutes. If you don't see that, that price is directly from NSE. For international markets, they don't tell you. They tell you that this is the price, but within that price, there is a hidden fee. And the way I knew this is when we are integrating our international stocks. Most brokers would come with that proposal. Add cost on the price. But then why am I hiding price? I'll tell you it is free. One time you get to know, I've already destroyed my image. For the commission, it's not 1.5 for AIB. It's 1.3. 1.5 is the standard in the market, and I don't think it is 1.5. It's around 1.6 something. AIB lowered for everyone trading on DigiTrader 1.3. Just check your trades. And if there is any dispute, just send me a message. I will send you your contract. Contract shows the breakdown of transactions. If you bought 100 shares, what was charged and at what proportion? You will see it is 1.3. If you opened through digital platform, it is automatically set to 1.3. DTK, this is Diamond Trust. It's also a good buy. Most of the banks, apart from HF, I have not seen them give dividend. The rest, they give dividend. Any share that is giving dividend, just go for it. Just go for it. I want to share that link for that spreadsheet. Let me just copy link. It is the first sheet. All the stocks that are there have even indicated when they usually pay interim, final, and special. And I'm waiting for the others to declare their special. I also add. So with that spreadsheet now, you can position yourself even for next year for some of those stocks. You can go to previous price lists on those particular days. Just check. Did they declare dividend maybe for the last 3 years? There's a likelihood next year they will declare. So you position yourself early. Let me go to Q&A because I can see there are a few questions there. Hopefully they are not many. How does one buy gold ETF? Are they listed? Yes, GLD. It is GLD. For gold, it is Absa Gold. It is the ETF. It was listed a long time ago. It has been there. If it's not there on your app, just go to Add Script, scroll down to GLD. Add it. Thank you, Peter. I wanted to understand what this means. Captura have announced a bonus share issue of 1-to-1. Bonus shares, what they say is For every 1 share you have, we are giving you additional 1 share. So for Capturo, they gave dividend in 2 ways. They gave dividend in form of cash that they'll pay you. Then they decided then the other amount, instead of paying it to our shareholder, let's reinvest, but give them as additional shares. So these are free shares. On book closure, the total number of shares you have for these shares, you get for everyone, you get another one. So if you have 1,000, you get 1,000 extra. So you have 2,000 extra shares without any cost because they are free shares. How do I check personal details that they gave during account opening? Just send me email or WhatsApp. I will connect you with our team. They'll be able to help you. What's the difference between DOE and CDS? I think this I explained. DOE CSD is for CBK boards. CDS is for shares that trade at NSE and boards that trade at NSE. Opening account as a company, I think I've explained, and all those forms are on our website for opening those accounts. Let's go back to Kaidri, your contact 0723 384775. That's my number. WhatsApp. If it is past office hours, just WhatsApp. Within office hours, I would also prefer WhatsApp because if you call all of you, then my phone will get clogged. Well, let's go to WhatsApp. It's easier. I'll be able to assist you any time of the day. Any other question? Any other question? It's the same number on the presentation. Huh? That's why I put the first slide. I hope it is the one I'm presenting. Let me stop sharing. I'll share again. You can take a screenshot of that if you are not able to write. How do I know if stock is undervalued or overvalued in NSE? That would require some analysis, but our research, they usually do that. They usually do that. There are formulas you use to know whether it is undervalued or overvalued. I don't know whether you receive our research reports. But there are parameters that you check. So what I'm trying to look for you. There are several factors you check. For overvalued stocks, you check the current price, the current trading price, if it is higher than its intrinsic or true value. So to get that, you need P ratio, that is a price to earning ratio. Then you need price to book ratio, then earnings and fundamentals, and then dividends. But there are formulas that most of our team use. So if you want to know more of this, you can get in touch with our researcher. It's only that in the previous training, I think there is one which I did those formulas. I can't remember which day. But these are things you can easily calculate. Unfortunately for NSE, when we did calculation for international stocks using Google Finance formula, we realized you can't do for NSE because the information is not out there. So you may need the price and the earnings so that you do price to earnings to growth. So PE, then you divide by expected earnings. That can tell you whether it is overvalued or undervalued. But you can get in touch with our researcher. They are happy to help you. I'm also trying to compile the lists of stocks at NSE and whether they are undervalued or overvalued. But you see, I can only do for 1 day because I need the current price. So it means I have to keep on refreshing that data every day. I wish NSE could make their data available, maybe through Google Finance. We can use Google Finance formula to do that. For international stocks, you can do very easily. Safaricom has a very low book value. Is this a silent risk that its value drop possibly? For Safaricom, I may not be able to answer this right now, but I don't think there is any risk. For Safaricom, I would only be worried if they were to split with M-Pesa. Anything else, if they are affected in terms of price, there could be other factors. One of them is dividend. I hope you know now when a company declares dividend, after book closure, price usually readjust down. But after some time, it stabilize. Company performance now will push the prices up together with the investors' demand and supply. How many shares for an ordinary retailer can earn a reasonable sustaining amount? Looks like one needs to invest a lot of money. No, you don't need to invest a lot of money. What you only need to know is what are you targeting? If you're targeting retirement, even that 1,000 can earn you money in retirement. 1,000 every month. You just calculate with the number of months years you're remaining with your retirement. However, if you're saying in 1 year, then there you need a lot of money in NSE. If it is 2 years, the same thing. 3 years, the same thing. If it is long term, that's why we advise long term. Even the little amount can make you a millionaire very easily. And earnings here, to sustain you, I would suspect it is dividends. Because if it is shares, then you need to keep on selling. Remember, you're also offloading your investment. So if it is in terms of dividend, target the stocks that are giving dividends. Use small amounts now just to top up. Keep on buying. In your retirement, you'll have a good portfolio that will be paying you well. That's why I've shared that Google sheet, because it has the company name. Interim is before it's the dividend paid when they announce half-year results, most of them. Then final is after the audit. Then there is special when they make extraordinary dividends, profits. So there is interim, there is final, and there is special. So you can stagger your investment across all those investments, but also check the performance of the company. With international stocks, do you get to own the real shares, or do you speculate on the price, like how it is with CFD? We are not dealing with CFDs. We are dealing with physical shares where you become an actual shareholder. There is no risk. It's the same as NSE. You're only affected by price movement. It's not like CFD where you're speculating on price movement. And there is a margin. For this one, there is no margin or leverage. So your account is safe. So when you buy NVIDIA, you are becoming a shareholder of NVIDIA. If you buy Apple, you're becoming a shareholder of Apple, entitled to dividends when they declare. If it is ETFs, you own the share portion of shares within those ETFs, and when that ETF pays dividend, you get it. So for us, it's physical shares. We don't want to expose you to risk. If you look at CFDs, most brokers, they say 75% of investors basically lose their money on CFDs. That's why we went for real shares. Is Safaricom share likely to drop in the suggested IPO? Do they have an IPO? Because they already listed they can't have an IPO. Maybe I'm wrong. They can only do a rights issue. They can't do which IPO? Maybe you can give more details. Is it the Kenya government selling some of its shares? If it is that, the information is not yet out, it will be done. Huh? But I don't think it will affect Safaricom a lot because it's just Safaricom offloading its shares to make even Safaricom shares more available in the market, add more shares for sale in the market. So again, it plays into liquidity. Safaricom will become more liquid. So you find you're able to trade easily. It can have price drop or price increase. Again, those are the other factors that determine price movement, including demand and supply. Hopefully, that time people will not panic and start selling because government is selling. Because if all of you are selling, price goes down. Again, if more people now are willing to buy because Safaricom is out there, prices go up. CFD is why you speculate on price movement. You buy NVIDIA, but you're not buying shares. Huh? You're buying when it is low, anticipating you sell when it is high. What if it goes the other way, you lose money? So you're not actually buying the share. You're not owning the share. I believe I can explain this now in layman because I also did in the introduction video. You see it on my channel, explaining some of these. But since you have asked for this, the next training for international stock on Friday, I'll do this. Because I don't want to confuse those who are interested in NSE with terminologies for international markets. Do international stocks pay dividend? Yes, some pay. Actually, most of them, they do pay. And you find some of them, they even pay quarterly. It's not like NSE, it's after 1 year or half year. There are those which pay quarterly. There are even ETFs which pay monthly. Oh, I think it could be she was talking about, because I can see as a Kenyan government want to sell some of its shares. Huh? It's not clear how they sell. If it is Kenya Pipeline, IPO, that it will just list like the other companies. It's only the fundamentals and operations of Kenya Pipeline that will affect its own price. Huh? It won't affect other shares. It won't affect other shares because that's a separate. It's like the ETFs which have just been listed. They have not affected the market. But hopefully for Kenya Pipeline, there are no politics, because again, those also plays into how the stock performs in the market. Most of stocks in NSE, it's not actually the company performance that affects it a lot, it's the politics. You know, politics then affects company operations, either directly or indirectly. So you find the counters losing. It's the same as international market. Any tariff introduced, any policy introduced, it affects the market. Let me see Q&A. And I'm about to wind up. If you have any other question, you can add. I think Q&A had answered. Any other question? So next week, Wednesday, we are going through practicals. Huh? So it is, you see me executing trade. I take you through whole process of executing trades. Because we have already covered account opening and all other things you need to know. Alongside that, I'll come out now with Excel templates, which I'll share with you. Be happy to amend and edit to your preference. In absence of any other question, I think we can call it a day. Thank you so much for coming today. Let's meet next week. Okay, do you guys have Excel sheets that can help you know which shares is wise to buy? We usually have a stock recommendation on our website. Just check on our website. We don't do it through Excel, but I'm also NSE. The problem with NSE, the data is not available to the public. If it was, then I would help you create like the one I've done for international stocks. So if you look at that spreadsheet I've shared, oh, it's not this one. There's another one for international stocks. you're able even to automate some of these things yourself through Google Finance Formula. And let's see if they were able to, give that information to the public. These are things we can do. You would see a lot of innovations out, which help the market grow. Mention the buy for tomorrow. Please, unless you check just join our Telegram and WhatsApp group, because that is done by research. They usually give stock recommendations. So I think Juanta, I think I've answered your question. It's because NSE data is not publicly available. I will set the presentation and the video on that WhatsApp channel. Just remember to follow. But we'll also be challenging NSE to provide this data to the client because it is your data, so that you can also start playing around and create your own investment advisory platforms because we need them. International market, if you are to Google, you get them. NSE, there is none because this data is not available to the public. And those who already have, they are charging for it. So WhatsApp, is that group or channel? Let me share for channel. For the group, it's there on our website. Let me just share that link, research. Even this link for our website, there is a link for the channels. Share international Google as well here. Let me share that. Give me a minute. And there is a full video explaining how to navigate through those sheets. So you don't need to struggle to understand what I was doing with them. Let me see international stocks. Let me share. You go to file menu, you create a copy. Remember to make a copy so that you are able now to customize it on your head. So you go to file menu, even for NSE, you just go to file menu, then where it says make a copy, click make a copy. That's now you have that spreadsheet on your side. The music will be off today, actually. I didn't know it's nuisance. I will just drop it today. So thank you so much. Let's meet next time. And thank you for your time.